No way. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm colorblind and I can really see the orange here. I like their little faces. I love when they put their tongue out. Holy smokes, look at the variability there. They are pretty. I just love their little tongues. I forget how amazing and beautiful some of the smaller species are. I almost want to get some blue tongues and create a really cool habitat for them outdoors. What do you guys think? Should I do some blue tongue skinks in the future at the camp? Holy smokes. Hey, what's going on? I'm here with Heather Moy and Ron St. Pierre. We're at Fairy Tale Dragons. Heather's going to talk to us about some of the amazing blue tongue skinks that you guys keep. Today, it's all about blue tongue skinks.
We sincerely thank all of you happy campers out there.
Your support makes a real difference in our efforts here at Kamp Kenan.
This week's special shout out goes to Adam Martinez.
Thank you for all you do and for loving reptiles.
It's a species that I don't know much about, save the very elementary, stuff. They're found in Australia, they're found in Indonesia, but what are we about to look at right here? And Ron's gonna be our beautiful assistant holding the lid open. He's not mic'd up, but if he says something, he's just gotta talk loud. All right, what do we got, Heather?
Okay, so in here we have a super hypo and a hypo. Yeah, I'll let Ron dig them out.
All right. Oh, wow.
There they are.
Now, all these guys you have bred for the specific colors and stuff.
This girl is a hypo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And then her man down here, which Ron is retrieving.
No way. Oh, he's a little aggro too. That's awesome.
Is the super.
Super.
And you can tell right now she does have some breeding marks because it is breeding season. So we're hoping she's looking a little thick.
Okay.
So fingers crossed.
Are these live bearer?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And
Similar
she
to
gave us one baby last year,
okay,
which you'll see in just a little while. So hopefully.
So when you pair them up, do you have to pair them up at a specific time, or can you let them cohabitate for a while?
They only produce once a year.
Okay.
So you have one window and that's it. It's not like some of the other species, like the bearded dragons, which I can manipulate to breed year round if I chose to do so. I mean, mine are outside, but these guys, you have one shot.
Oh my gosh.
So, and if you miss it, you miss it. Yeah, so they're not as predictable as far as producing.
Okay.
But yeah, but I've watched these two breeding. She's looking pretty
How
good.
do you know when they are ready to breed?
We just maintain
We-
them all together year-round.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Ours are kept together year-round,
okay.
which is very unusual. It's very different than the industry. Most of the industry do introductions.
Okay.
So after the cooling.
They'll put them together.
Yes,
okay.
correct.
Interesting. Awesome.
Which
Again,
is also successful, but
yeah, but this just seems when you have a larger collection, it's just a little bit easier just to let them
it's
do
just a
their
more
own
natural
thing.
way.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say it's easier. It's just very different.
Gotcha.
The skill set required is very different.
And these guys do well here in Central Florida outdoors?
They do with, everything that we keep outdoors, we do certain things to kind of like mitigate certain weather conditions, whether
Gotcha.
it gets too cold, too hot, too rainy, so on and so forth. So, but yes, we use the 6 mil plastics with them as well.
Gotcha,
During the
and you just
wintertime.
drape it over the tops of these?
Yeah, we put shields up during heavy rain seasons, things like that.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Okay, so these guys are going to be omnivores?
These guys are really they're the trash cans. They're very similar to what the raccoon or a tegu. They eat a lot of different food items. Do you need assistance? I'm feeding them a variety of like wet pet foods, Missouri diet, fruits, veggies. So I give them quite a bit of variety. I give them super worms, mealworms, black soldier fly larvae. So they've got a very wide, varied diet.
That's cool. So again, an easy species to really care for because their diet is so non-specialized.
Yeah.
It's very variable.
Yeah.
That's cool. And just a small water, something to drink out of.
Yeah, they do drink a lot of water, so I'm filling that up every day and making sure that it's nice and full. They do like to drink. Unlike what a lot of people, and before I really started working with the blue tongues, it was always just, this everybody says, oh, they're just on the ground. They don't, but I mean, I literally watch them climb up the
So they'll go to basking platforms.
They bask, absolutely. So,
okay. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm colorblind and I can really see the orange here. That is orange, right? Okay, thank God. I didn't want it to look like it completely lovely buffoon.
Yeah.
A gravid
that one's a T
female.
positive,
And so when it's gravid, you're just looking at the mid-length, the mid-body there, just way
She's
more
really,
swollen.
Really thick and swollen here
Okay.
right now. So.
Wild.
Yeah.
So they'll have one baby.
No, they can
Okay.
have, I mean, it depends on the animal. Like she just happened to have one last year, but I mean, I've had them have up to, we here have had about 17 or 19
Oh,
is
wow.
the highest. But yeah,
Out
they
of
can get
one
it.
female.
Correct.
Wow.
The northerns have a tendency to produce more, as I understand it, though, than like some of the others. The easterns usually have fewer babies.
Yeah, so
Interesting.
this is part of a pair of T-positive Irian Jaya blue tongues.
Okay.
So those are Indonesian.
Cool. And this is full size, guys. It's a really cool lizard. They're impressive looking. They have cool behavior, which is always fun to watch. Why we love these animals. It's for what they behave like, what they do. They're fascinating. I like their little faces. I love when they put their tongue out and just, they're always kind of sensing their surroundings. That's why I love watching lizards walk around. It's just a cool lizard. These are really neat.
They're one of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah,
Absolutely,
they
yeah.
feel great. They
Yeah.
just they have a strength to them. You know, there's
Yep.
just terrestrial, reduced legs, but they're still kind of buff in a way. You know what I mean? Especially this gal. She's portly, but we know that she's got some little babies in there. So good luck, Mama.
My daughter refers to them as walking potatoes.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty close. Let's get her back in. What can someone look to spend on, your average blue-tongued skink?
It depends on the blue tongue. Some of the northerns, for example, the northerns I'll list for like $350 and up.
Okay.
A lot of them
As a
being in the
baby?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. But when you start getting obviously into some of the mutations, some of the rare animals, then the price point goes up.
Gotcha. And I love
So
the
these are some of my
repurposing.
favorites.
Oh,
these
what
are
we're
the
about to watch?
easterns.
Oh, wow.
And one of them he's in shed right now. This one's in shed right now.
Really? He
but-
looks great.
Yeah. Or heading into shed, I should
Holy
say.
smokes, look at the variability there. I mean, that's beautiful. There's a little poop there.
Lucky you.
Yep. Yay. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
They are pretty.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah, that is an awesome lizard, man. Oh, wow. You got, what do you have, a trio in
We
here?
have 3, yeah. These are holdbacks from last year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They are beautiful.
That is so cool.
These are pure Easterns.
And I noticed, though, that they do have these scales that protect the ear, it looks like, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
This is a beautiful pattern.
Their
I
habitat,
love these. These are absolutely
Yeah,
one
they
of my
are.
favorites.
what's their habitat like in the wild? Grasslands or semi-desert? What is
It's more grasslands.
Okay.
So a lot of these are forest floor.
it? Okay. Wow. That is a cool, I just love their little tongues. And again, when threatened, they can really extend the tongue, right? Is that what they'll do?
Yes. And they'll
Look at
hiss.
it. They'll hiss, yeah.
They'll back up, and then they'll strike.
So they will strike.
Yeah, I
They
think I
can,
remember
yes,
seeing
yes.
Steve Irwin get
Yeah.
bit by one of these,
Yeah. They can.
But it seems like with the captives, they
they've got a
tame up
pretty-
so nicely.
They do. They've got a pretty good bite, but they do tame up very nicely.
What is
And then
that?
this-
Look at this. Here's another insane
These are patternless.
patternless. Here, I'm going to lower this. Look at these. I mean, to me, this almost looks golden. Is
Yes.
it? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
That is like a tan gold.
And then the belly. Look at the belly.
Oh my God, the bottom's like bright orange or pink.
Look at that.
Salmon. Looks like salmon.
Yeah, exactly.
And these again are ones that we produced here last year.
So they're a year
Holdback.
old about? They
No,
grow,
these were born in June of end of June last year.
so they're not quite a year
No,
old.
correct.
And they've grown this much?
Yeah, and they've really started taking off now because ours are kept outdoors. They grow
Right.
on a more natural cycle. So they're taking off now that it's spring and we have the heat.
Yeah.
They really have been picking up speed. So ours grow at a little slower rate in the winter months, whereas everybody else, but ours catch up in the spring.
This is
So-
really, I'm really glad I came down here because I am so stuck in my way of my animals, monitors, giant
Right.
cyclura, alligators, and I forget how amazing and beautiful some of the smaller species are and the interest I have in them. Like, I almost want to get some blue tongues and create a really cool habitat for them outdoors. But is that something that I could do potentially?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
You know what would be fun? It would maybe have you guys down one day. I'd love for you guys to come down and visit, and maybe we can do a video in the future where we set something up really cool for some of these, and I can get some off of you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that would be fun to do. I just think they're interesting, and I think my kids would love to interact with these, and it'd be a
They're a
good
very
way.
popular pet with the kids.
That is so
absolutely.
cool. That is awesome. Some kind of, what do you guys think? Should I do some blue tongue skinks in the future at the camp? Maybe something really cool habitat and have Heather and Ron come down and school me on them. I think that would be fun. You know, be my consultants, if you will. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Wow. Are there any more bizarre examples of these?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, we're going to have to keep this train a rolling then. Let's go on down. Which one
no,
did they go?
these
Oh,
are
okay,
these.
you're right.
This one right here.
Don't cross the streams, whatever you do. So cool. Oh, some bearded dragons. You are, of course, the dragon lady.
Yes.
That's how I met you first
Yes.
at some of the Repticon shows. You always were selling your dragons.
Yep.
But here's some bearded dragons. Look how happy they look. Again, I love lizards, man. It's when I went to Australia, we would see bearded dragons. It's so crazy to see a bearded dragon on a fence post.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Look at how happy these guys look. This is probably one of the best pet lizards out there too.
These are all het for 0, so the patternless, colorless mutation that
Really?
you see, the white ones and the gray ones, no color, these are hets.
That's cool.
Bright orange.
Yeah.
Look at that.
These girls here are getting older. They'll actually retire after this season, so
Gotcha.
they're 4.
Wow. Now, how many of you at home watching have some bearded dragons? And how many of you would love to be able to keep your bearded dragons outdoors? Do they look happy or what? They're just baking. These guys can take some really nice hot basking temps, can't they, Heather?
They can, but during the midday, I mean, right now it's gray and a little cool today and kind of dreary, rainy, but
Yep.
they'll actually, typically around this time of the day, they're all in their hides by this
Gotcha,
time. So
gotcha.
they're ducking. They come out in the morning, they bask, then they come out again in the evening. But during the midday, this
They're out
time
in
of
the
year,
sun.
I don't see them at all. The only reason
Interesting.
why they're out right now is because the temps are what they are, and
Gotcha.
you know it's about to rain. So.
But when you're keeping them indoors, what do you want the basking temperature to be? Remember, they don't, we're talking just the basking temperature, just underneath that heat lamp. I like to tell folks that get tortoises from me, some of my tortoises like about 105, 110 degree basking area.
Right.
But then remember, you don't want the whole enclosure to be that hot.
Right, they need to be able to thermoregulate. They
Right.
need to be able to determine what they want at that time. So the basking temp, it varies. I mean, every animal is different too.
Copy
like I have
that.
some animals that really like around 110, but I have others that like 102.
Okay.
So they all vary a little bit. So you have to be able to give them the ability to choose.
Right.
So I always tell all my customers to watch their animal. You want to see your animal going in basking,
And then
spending
moving
some
out,
time
yeah.
there, then moving away. If they're always basking, then your temperatures aren't hot enough. If they're always on the cool side, then you've got too much heat going. You need to make some changes. So watching the behavior of the animal will give you a lot of answers.
And notice what they've done here. Very simple. We've got cinder blocks as hides. There's a hide under the subfloor right there.
yeah.
And we also they've created these ramps.
Yeah.
And different levels. You can also do that indoors where you have a spot lamp up here. The animal can get up to it. It's hotter because it's closer to the top of the cage. It can regulate itself and then move out when it has to. So definitely take notes because you can apply some of these techniques to keeping animals indoors and giving them choices like Heather mentioned. It's very important. I just love seeing the beardies. Like she's just laid out, legs stretched out. She's got not a care in the world, man. That's the coolest thing about them. I just love when animals are so habituated and comfortable with you that they're really at ease. I got you. Sweet. One push down.
Right, don't worry.
This one has to be adjusted back
Okay.
out.
Where are we going? Over here?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, okay, so Matt, you are a layperson just getting into reptiles
Oh, we
here.
just left a present.
Would you think that there could be that many different colors of a certain species of lizard?
I mean, the depth of this red is pretty interesting.
Yes. What do you call the sunfire? What are those?
No, it's
Just
just deep red. Yeah.
Deep red.
I mean, all the names for the most part are marketing.
Okay.
And I don't mess with any of that. It's yellow, it's
Gotcha.
red, it's orange.
I like it. That is a beautiful, I mean, look at these lizards, it's so cool. Bearded dragons, are they in the agamid family?
Yes.
Wild. So omnivores also.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Okay. I'll hear some people, and again, I'm asking the experts. Sand is so bad for bearded dragons. Sand, no good. What? Talk to me.
Sand isn't bad. Poor husbandry is bad. So if your
Okay.
husbandry is right on, then you're not going to have a problem with sand. The problem in captivity, though, and a lot of new keepers and people that are newcomers that really don't have any experience with reptiles, it's not intentional most of the time, but their conditions are suboptimal. So if
Okay.
your conditions are suboptimal, if your nutrition isn't right on point, then you're going to see problems. And then they may start to try to eat the sand
Okay.
to try to get additional calcium or nutrients out of the sand. And then that's when you have a problem. If your temps aren't high enough,
Okay.
then
They're not
things
digesting
happen.
properly. Yep.
Right,
Gotcha.
right,
Okay.
right. So
Very
yeah.
cool. And the other thing is you have sand in one area. The whole thing isn't necessarily sand either. There's options that, again,
Correct,
they can
correct,
choose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
really cool. I
Yeah,
love
this
it.
is more for a lay area for the
Gotcha.
ladies. So yeah.
When do they start to lay their eggs? What month?
So
Ron's laughing over there.
It depends on the year. So it depends the weather conditions, so on and so forth. Outdoors, I start getting eggs generally the end of January.
Okay.
They start to slow down here for me in August, but not completely. So I have a few of my younger girls will go a little bit late season.
Okay.
But for the most part, it really starts to wind down in August.
I got to ask you, so what got you into lizards?
Honestly, I mean, I was catching stuff when I was a kid. I wasn't a hardcore like him, though. I actually veered off. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I ended up in the jewelry industry for 20 years. An ex-husband decided that he wanted to buy and resell.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest person in the world, but
He's
from
an ex.
that,
That's right, yeah.
exactly. But from that, he was going down to the various importers, strictly so on and
Gotcha.
so forth, and picking up stuff when I was at work. And I'd get home, there's like 3 new species here, 7 new species. Great. How do you set that up? How do you take care of it? He's like, oh, I think it's about the same. So I spent hours and hours at night researching how to properly care for the animals, what to do. So the frills, the bearded dragons, the Uromastics were some that I just kind of geared, that I was gravitated toward. I like that size. It's a good pet size. So I started working with the dragons first. And just kind of
Some of you. Look
went
at this.
from there, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool, Heather. I mean, it's awesome to learn what got people into this. That's beautiful as well.
She's not real happy with me right now.
How many years have you been doing this?
Closing in on 20 now.
Congratulations,
So,
that's awesome.
19,
Is this your full-time gig now?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I went
just
full
awesome.
time with it in 2017, so
Good for you.
yeah. The weather's not really conducive today to get beautiful shots, but
No, this works good. I think people at home are going to be able to see just how beautiful these dragons are. And of course, these are fairy tale dragons. So if you guys are looking for one of Heather's babies, you just check out Fairy Tale Dragons on good old Facebook. And I'm sure you got a
Instagram.
website as well,
Yep,
Instagram.
yep,
But it's tail, Tail.
correct.
Okay,
Correct.
that makes sense, doesn't it, people? Very, very cool. I just want to thank both Ron and Heather for spending a good portion of their day with us here, allowing us to get this unfettered look behind the velvet rope, if you will, of the beautiful facility they have here. The animals are top notch, and you guys, I love people that love reptiles. These two love their animals, and you're like the Wonder Twins of reptiles here, man. You guys joined forces. You got some really interesting projects coming out. So you can see them at different reptile venues and shows. So let them know that you saw them on Kamp Kenan and say hello to them, and follow them on Facebook and Instagram, all right? Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you again on another episode. I'm out of here before that camera overheats. We got it done. We'll see you later. All right.